Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to Stars of Nust. I'm your host, Sana Zafar. Yet again, we are bringing you another very bright shining star of Nust. हमें College of Aeronautical Engineering के second guest ने आज join किया है from Bay Area. We have with us Mr. Syed Ghayur. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining us.
Walaikum salam and thanks for having me.
Ghayur भाई ने CAE से graduate किया back in 1995 in aeronautical engineering with specialization in avionics. Currently, he is head of sales engineering and customer success at ArmorCode, which is related to application security. आइए इनसे मिलते हैं और थोड़ा सा और जानने की कोशिश करते हैं about his personality and his journey, everything fun and everything boring that happened in between. Thank you so much. आपको सुबह सुबह जगाया हमने, आपने टाइम निकाल लिया on a weekend. I'm really grateful.
Not only weekend, long weekend. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was thanks for setting it up and thanks for doing all these interviews. It really helps like you can gain some experience, and if someone can leverage the experience of others, Nustians, so why not, right?
Thank you. जी कुछ ऐसा ही गोल है हमारा and to get people connected to each other as well. थोड़ा सा बताइएगा about your family, about where you're living. You have mashallah 2 kids. How old are they?
So yeah, I moved in Bay Area in 2003 and came to America in 2000. So I did my master's from Wichita State, middle of the country. But that's one thing, like just wanted to come here, do masters and figure out that, okay, जो पहली university जिसने select किया, उधर पहुंच गए without even thinking, but we can talk more about it later. Sure. But then came to Bay Area, and since 2003, I'm in Bay Area, almost 20 years. Yeah, got married in 2004, and now have 2 kids. One is in high school, the other one is in middle school, and enjoying Bay Area weather. So it's weather ki wajah se we never left the area, and like even you say that the coldest summer is in San Francisco. So it's cold as summer. इतनी ठंड हो जाती है कि कभी कभार के आप you can't even think about it कि आप जून में जैकेट पहन के जा रहे हैं, even though it's supposed to be summer.
I know it happens here as well कि जब हम जून में heating on कर रहे होते हैं. So yes, a little relatable. थोड़ा सा बताइएगा आपकी, हम before we get into discussion about your professional life and Nust journey and everything, थोड़ा सा आपके बारे में भी हम जानना चाहते हैं. What do you do for fun? आपकी क्या hobbies हैं? What I have heard, you are into traveling and hiking and a lot of outdoor sports, and you are a foodie as well. So आप भी बताइएगा कुछ हमें.
Yeah, sure. So basically, I got to travel because of my work and the type of role I was in for last 5 years before the COVID. So isme I just got the opportunity to experience all different cultures, different countries. So I really enjoyed, and thanks to the role I was in, then it was not something which I felt कि ये burden है मुझ पे कि मुझे travel कर रहा हूँ और ये कर रहा हूँ. So while I'm traveling, let's see what I can do more. So उसमें ही फिर आप different, you can try different foods. You start having appreciation of different cultures. So all that. So it came, I think I grew into that. Okay, यार ये जो है ना, additional things which you can do and you can enjoy. Otherwise, always have loved watching sports. When we were growing up, Pakistan was doing really good in cricket, not only in cricket, hockey, squash, and एक टाइम पर snooker भी कभी champion थे.
Yes.
So for that reason, had more into like watching sports. अब America में आ गए तो American sports में gradually going into that, and now I just love watching NBA. So basketball, because our local team is pretty good, and it's a very competitive sports, and it doesn't take you like 5 days to see the result. You can see the result in 2 days. So I do enjoy watching that.
Sounds like fun. थोड़ा सा आपकी personality की तरफ आते हैं, because I'm genuinely interested to learn more about it, because इतनी hardcore engineering के बाद you are in sales. And myself having background in marketing, me specialization marketing thi bachelor's and master's maybe. And I think you have to have a certain personality to be there, to be in sales. You have to be more forthcoming, you have to be a people's person and more engaging. और ये चीजें हमें थोड़ी सी seldom देखने को मिलती हैं engineers में. So ये जो certain traits हैं, did you develop them over time? Did you think that yes, they need to be there, or were they always there, part of your personality?
So I think like growing up in Pakistan and focused in like, okay, if you're good in studies, go become engineer or a doctor.
True.
That just gets you into more like engineering and very focused on studies. कि आपने बस ये hardcore आप ये बस पढ़ लें ये कर लें. You don't get focused on like, okay, आपने अपनी personality कैसे develop कर रहे हैं, grow कर
Soft
रहे हैं,
skills.
क्या, what are soft skills, and that's something which is just natural. I see when I go back and meet people, okay, there are some people who are very outgoing. It's just their natural aspect. Like nothing was developed or even polished. तो naturally किसी के पास वो talent है तो है. अगर किसी के पास नहीं है तो नहीं है, right? And but they are really good in like engineering mindset के साथ पढ़ाई में बहुत अच्छे हैं लेकिन soft skills पे बिल्कुल focus नहीं है. And that actually hurts in the long term. And another interesting thing which I have seen, especially the professionals in Pakistan, कि यार मैं सबसे अच्छा था ये था लेकिन promotion मेरी नहीं हुई. And then they keep on blaming other people. Like exceptions are always there, लेकिन they keep on blaming other people कि यार देखो ये बंदा जो है ना ये promote हो गया, मैं नहीं हुआ, मेरा ये काम था, मैंने काम भी अच्छा किया. Okay, that's all good. लेकिन तुमने कभी सोचा है कि what was the challenge कि तुम क्यों नहीं हुए? Like, was there any gaps in yourself? Instead of blaming others, just focus on yourself and see कि तुम क्या चीजें कर सकते हो. And again, I'm not saying कि exceptions हो जाती है कि कोई illegally कुछ कर रहा है तो that you can't control, but there are things which you can control.
Yes.
And these are the things which I started to noticing. And जब मैं यहाँ पर आया अमेरिका में and looking at the engineering side, I felt that okay, yeah, engineering will just take you to a certain level. Like अगर आप अपनी field में ही रहेंगे, लेकिन who is, if you look at the CEO of the company, typically अभी यहाँ पर हम जब startups में भी होते हैं, so CEO engineer ही होता है. Like okay, he thought about a product, he's developing something new, creative. लेकिन eventually उसको जो है ना, they replace him with somebody who is more from a marketing and sales background. That's just like the way it is कि आपको आपकी वो personality traits नहीं है. आपने चीज तो बना दी लेकिन इसको आपको next level पे कैसे लेकर जाना है, that is somebody else who has that trait. So from my personal perspective, I started just focusing on those aspects at the same time. अगर मुझे कोई भी learning opportunity मिलती थी कि soft skill का कोई webinar हो रहा है, आपका Toastmasters है, I am still part of another Toastmasters कि मैं अभी भी उनकी on and off join करता हूँ because it's actually helps me grow. And I think they, even though it's a peer feedback, even then they are not even professional, but they help you. And I have really I feel कि मुझे next level पे जाने में that contribution also help. अगर presentation की कोई soft skills की कोई workshop हो रही है, I always go there. So I started taking all those things. So that helped me polish myself. What I see that, okay, maybe those were not my strengths, but I don't want those weaknesses to come in between my success. आपको हमेशा आपकी strengths ही ऊपर लेकर जाएंगी. So you should know कि आपकी strengths क्या हैं. And I had few strengths which I figured out with self-realization कि यार ठीक है, I think those are my strengths. I can listen, I can take pressure. So those are the things which in professional life really works. But then, okay, I need to be more outgoing. I can present well. I can understand people. So all those I started to learn over time.
Thank you for sharing all that, and I'm really glad to know that because ये बहुत important है, बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें की हैं आपने. It's very important to learn for all of us कि हम maybe like you said, having a good engineering degree, it can get you somewhere, it can get you a job. But if you want to grow, if you want to make a career, if you want to reach the top and keep growing, तो उसमें ये सारी स्किल्स बहुत ज़रूरी है. लाइक आई सेड, मैं नस्ट में पढ़ाया था थोड़ा सा लॉन्ग टाइम बैक, तो मैं इंजीनियर्स को यही कहती रहती थी, आप बुलेट्स पॉइंट्स का बेशक रटाना हमारे, आई डोंट केयर, बट प्रेजेंट देम वेल. आप बात इस तरह करें कि सुनने वाला कन्विंस हो सके. आपकी ड्रेसिंग ऐसी होनी चाहिए कि दूसरे को लगे कि यू आर टेकिंग द पर्सन सीरियसली एंड यू आर गिविंग सम रिस्पेक्ट. सो ये सब सॉफ्ट स्किल्स बहुत मैटर करती हैं इन द लॉन्ग रन. एंड आपके बारे में तो जो मैंने सुना है, स्पेशली यू आर लाइक आई मेंशन, यू आर फोर्थ कमिंग, और आपने तो नस्टियंस को भी हेल्प की, यू ऑफर्ड जॉब्स एंड internship opportunities whenever it was possible for you. So ये वाली personality traits very important है. It helps not just you but everybody around you as well. So I hope people listening to this interview get to learn something.
अच्छा, थोड़ा सा ये भी होता है कि be yourself as well. Sometimes when we get something to present or things, like you feel that okay, you are not being yourself, right? You are trying to be somebody else. उस वक्त आप एक्टिंग कर रहे हैं, कुछ कर रहे हैं, just try to be yourself, and that really helps कि आपको the other one connects you as a partner, not as somebody like okay, yeah, you are going to present him, या वो आपका prey बन गया, या आप उसके वो बन गए. Like this is like when the hierarchy is, just consider the other guy as your partner, and there, even if we are going to go and sell something, we are actually helping him solve a problem. So we don't think like okay, hey, मतलब अगर ये हमसे खरीद लेगा तो अच्छा होगा. नहीं, I'm actually here to help you, right? To solve your problem or to help you achieve a goal. तो आपका अगर वो mindset होगा ना, तो when you go and talk to someone, you'll be at that level. And दूसरा भी आपको respect ज़्यादा देता है. These are all like unconsciously things are happening, but that again comes back to like okay, how आपने अपनी soft skills कैसे improve करनी है.
True, नहीं, yet again a very good point, क्योंकि yes, it's very important कि आप relate करें उनसे उन्हीं के level पे, so that they see you. जैसे इसकी एक बहुत छोटी सी एग्जांपल है कि मैं अक्सर स्टूडेंट्स को कहती हूँ कि good communication skills doesn't mean अच्छी अंग्रेजी, and अच्छी अंग्रेजी does not mean faking an accent. इट बेसिकली मीन्स कि आप कन्विंस कर रहे हैं दूसरे को और उसके लेवल पे बात कर रहे हैं. ऑफ कोर्स यू आर सिटिंग इन यूएसए, वहां आप अंग्रेजी में ही बात करेंगे, बट लाइक पाकिस्तान में हम एग्जांपल देते हुए, आप किसी ऐसी टीम के पास जा रहे हैं जिनकी आपके लेवल की अंग्रेजी नहीं है, तो आप जितना मर्जी एक्सेंट फेक करके बहुत कुछ बोल लें, आप फिर भी उन्हें कन्विंस नहीं कर सकेंगे. सो कमिंग टू योर पॉइंट कि उनके लेवल पे आके उनको सोल्यूशन इस तरह प्रोवाइड करना है कि उन्हें दे फील कि उनकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हुई है, उनको कोई फायदा हुआ है आपसे कनेक्ट करने का. सो यस, दैट्स अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट. थैंक यू.
You reminded me of something. एक मेरा एक old colleague था. He from other neighboring country in Pakistan. Like he used to come, and when he used to present, उसका accent था, तो पहले कहता था कि I'm like, my accent is English. So it's English with a Hindi accent. So he just start and go in and get out of that way, right? Then people don't even think इसका accent थोड़ा सा खराब है या कुछ है, because this is more like he's being himself. And he's telling others like, hey, don't focus on how I'm talking, focus on what I'm telling you.
Exactly. No, seriously, that's a very good example. थोड़ा सा आते हैं नस्ट के टाइम पे. आपका कॉलेज ऑफ एरोनॉटिकल इंजीनियरिंग में जब आप थे, वो कैसा टाइम था? डू यू स्टिल मिस फ्रेंड्स? आर यू स्टिल कनेक्टेड टू देम? कोई मेमोरी आप शेयर करना चाहें, कोई फन मेमोरी शेयर करना चाहें, और फ्रेंड्स को या टीचर्स को मेंशन करना चाहेंगे?
No, definitely. First of all, like I had no intention of going into like an academy mahal. मेरा तो बिल्कुल जो है ना, the way I was and the personality के यार ये but it just happened कि PIA की वजह से we got selected and they sent in. I was like, okay, चल 3.5 साल के लिए जा रहे हैं हम, तो civilian जा रहे हैं. But when we went there, they had absolutely no difference between you or any other cadet. 3.5 साल के बाद ठीक है, you have nothing to do with forces, but while you are there, you have to do everything. There is no difference. So that was a big shocker. Like it took me some time. और शुरू में like when they started giving you like getting you baseline with everyone else. और आप मतलब the very first day it was like 50 plus degree centigrade, and you are reaching there, you're reporting around 2 p.m. and they start telling you, okay, start taking front rows. I'm like, okay, what the hell, where I am. मैंने कहा कि वहां तक पहुंच जाओ तो आपको जो है ना छोड़ देंगे। मैंने कहा यार ठीक है, फ्रंट रोल तो आते थे तो जल्दी से पहुंच गए वहां पर, बट दैट वाज नॉट द केस दैट दे विल लेट यू गो।
That was the
तो
start.
उसमें से एक और बंदा था, उसने तो पहले ही फ्रंट रोल के बाद इतनी गर्मी थी कि वॉमिट कर दिया। मैंने दिल में सोचा कि यार दिस गाय, या ही इज अ लकी पर्सन। इसको तो अब वो भेज देंगे कि जाओ अब डॉक्टर के पास जाओ या कुछ करो। वो उसने उल्टी वगैरह क्यों कहा, बस ठीक है वापस आ जाओ। मैंने
Mhm.
कहा है ये क्या है। तो दैट वाज द सिस्टम वी वेंट इनटू, बट दैट मेड अस बॉन्ड वेरी क्लोजली टुगेदर। तो अभी रिसेंटली लाइक या आई एम स्टिल इन टच विद एवरीवन, और वो they have now became brigadiers and air commodores. So it's like we are proud of that, those people who just came in, and उस वक्त हम किसी भी ऑफिसर को देखते थे तो वो इतना बड़ा होता था। अब हमारे अपने जो हैं कोर्समेट्स, they have become one star generals, so that's we are proud of them and we are still in touch.
माशाल्लाह, नहीं, that sounds like a lot of fun. और yes, military institutes में स्पेशली जब आप ये सोच के आते हैं कि आप तो कैडेट नहीं हैं तो आपके साथ ये नहीं होगा और फिर ये होता है तो इट्स ऑलवेज अ शॉक ऑफ कोर्स।
But lifelong memories hai, like this was just the first incident I shared, but
जी
there were so many incidents like those in 3.5 years. Then आप भी थोड़े से you get to know how to be smart and how to navigate yourself around these challenges.
यस, those are definitely fun memories जो आपके साथ रहती हैं forever. अब आपकी थोड़ी सी प्रोफेशनल जर्नी के बारे में मैं जानना चाहती हूँ। उसमें काफी सारे पॉइंट्स होंगे डेफिनेटली व्हेन यू ग्रेजुएटेड फ्रॉम नास्ट, उसके बाद से आज तक क्या क्या हार्ड डिसीजंस थे, कहाँ आपको फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दिखानी पड़ी, कहाँ कुछ अनप्लान्ड हो गया, हाउ डिड यू टैकल दैट, थोड़ा सा हमें बताइएगा सो दैट वी कैन लर्न फ्रॉम इट।
uh, First, like when I came out of academy, did my engineering, so we went to PIA as a trainee engineer. वहां पर जो शॉप का मैनेजर था उसने मुझे बुलाया, like the new hires. He said something which just clicked me, और उसके बाद I made my decisions कि यार मुझे क्या करना है next. उसने कहा like I think 30 or 40 years I have been under this roof, जिधर वो जिस big शॉप में काम कर रहे थे। कहता है you see where I came, like now I'm the head of the shop, right? ये 200 बंदे मुझे रिपोर्ट करते हैं। I'm like hey, he's telling me कि 30 साल के बाद मैंने कहाँ पर होना है। तो that just gave me like hey, it's not exciting कि आपको बस आपकी एक ये जर्नी है और यहाँ पर ये खत्म हो रही है जर्नी, राइट? तो at that time I thought okay, that and like doing bachelor's was one thing, but let's see what next I can do. At that time, IT was booming in late 90s. Y2K भी आ रहा था। I said, okay, चलो जी, let's focus on doing masters. और जितनी resources थी या वो top schools तो देखे भी नहीं उस वक्त, और इतनी सोच भी नहीं थी। Now I know people always look for कि हम किसी तरह किसी top school में join कर लें. It's all good. You look for, but uh, I ended up being in like outside of tier 2. I think it was a tier 3 university, जिसमें हमें admission मिला, and we went there. And all the people I know who went into that university, आज mashallah, they are all doing very well. And yeah, it's good to go in a good university, but even अगर आपको कोई tier 2, tier 3 की भी university मिलती है, it's all about yourself, how you gonna grow and how you gonna learn out of that. Because यहाँ पर इतना यूनिवर्सिटीज तो अब कोई पूछता भी नहीं है इस वक्त, एंड आपने प्रोफेशनल नेटवर्क अपना ग्रो करना है, एंड दैट्स रियली हेल्प। सो अभी भी जिस कंपनी में मैं हूँ, इट्स अ वेरी स्मॉल स्टार्टअप, and the CEO, I knew that guy because I worked with him in as a when he was a product manager. मेरी last jobs, 2 jobs which I got, I got it over lunch conversations. That's it. No interviews.
Nice.
because people know them. So I think from a professional growth perspective, building your network is very important. And be diversified. Like agar you are strong in Pakistani community, but don't stay there.
Mm.
Get to know other people and try to understand other people and other cultures. You don't have to be part of that culture, but just understanding them is important for you to grow.
Mm.
कि आपने पूछा था कि मैं सेल्स इंजीनियरिंग लाइक सेल्स की तरफ कैसे गया,
जी जी.
तो it's all about I was focused on making the products, making how the products are, like building the collateral around the products and then supporting the products. But then I thought that okay, this is one part. When you tell about the product,
Mm.
when customer comes in, they are thinking about how to use the product. तो आपको अगर अपनी जर्नी स्विच करनी है, तो आपने now you have to start thinking like a customer.
Mm.
So that's how I switched it. Because I thought that I'm missing some part. Then I moved into sales engineering. Then I realized that no. I need to go and tell these people how to make the product the way the customers are going to use it.
Mm.
और तो उसमें I start contributing a lot more. तो आपकी वैल्यू बढ़ जाती है फिर. Otherwise, you were just learning from engineering how they are making it to tell to other people. So it was like a one direction
Mm.
path. When I went closer to the customers, then I was taking the requirements from the customers such that how they're going to use it. And there's a subtle difference. लेकिन उससे now that I see कि अब जब I came to this company which was really small, like 6-7 people company, my contribution to making the product to where it is after 1 year, I feel really proud of it. कि मतलब I was able to contribute that much.
नहीं, डेफिनेटली आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेरी गुड लर्निंग पॉइंट. जैसे आपने पहले भी मेंशन किया कि अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स को फर्दर एनहांस करना और उन पे फोकस करना बड़ा जरूरी है, एंड ये रियलाइज करना. अगेन इंजीनियर्स इस मामले में थोड़े से आई वुड से वो इस तरफ ज्यादा सोचते ही नहीं है. दे आर मोर फोकस्ड ऑन नंबर्स एंड गेटिंग 2+2 एंड कीपिंग थिंग्स बाइनरी, बट इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज लाइक दैट. सो ये तो बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात बताई. अभी आप एक स्टार्टअप के साथ काम कर रहे हैं.
हाँ, ये एक स्टार्टअप है. लाइक इट्स 1.5-year-old कंपनी.
अच्छा.
तो like I'm reporting to the CEO. Uh, I always like, if you ask me, like my own goal was to at some stage I want to make my own startup. But if I'm not there, I'm not there. I felt that I have all the building blocks. मैंने खुद different groups में काम किया है. Do I have a good partnership to build one startup? Not yet. But do I know how to run a startup, how to grow a startup? At this point, yes. And thanks to all that experience, which I took the risk, like Cisco में मैंने 10 साल काम किया, which was a big company. I didn't have any problem. They were promoting me so that I don't leave, but I told them, just do me a favor, that don't do me any favor and let me go because I want to go and explore. And I think that was a right decision. क्योंकि the way I grew afterwards, and now that I know the whole spectrum of the organization and how these organizations are run, I wouldn't have gained that experience. अब उस एक डिपार्टमेंट में तो मैं शायद ऊपर चला जाता, लेकिन that was it. Then I was just part of a big enterprise company, hopping from one company to another company. Here, the experience is more diversified.
डेफिनेटली. और बहुत लर्निंग है, और उसके लिए भी एक शायद सर्टेन पर्सनालिटी ट्रेट्स होने चाहिए दैट यू आर ओपन टू दैट काइंड ऑफ लर्निंग. लाइक यू सेड, आप वो रिस्क लेने को तैयार थे, आप में वो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी थी, विच इज नॉट ऑलवेज देयर.
And one thing I will add, keep on like learn from the experiences. Failures is nothing, right? You just keep learning. Because one or two experiences, my experiences from a success perspective were not there. But when I talk to people, I said, but hey, I learned so much that I exactly know what not to do.
Exactly.
And that's very important. And if I can identify it in the next company that, hey guys, you are doing these things, you should not be doing these things, right? Because that will end up in not a success, rather failure. So that's a great learning.
डेफिनेटली डेफिनेटली आई टोटली एग्री. आपको कई दफा डोंट्स ज्यादा सिखा रहे होते हैं टू मूव फॉरवर्ड देन द डूज, बिकॉज डूज सब कर रहे हैं, डोंट्स जब तक आप नहीं करते आपको पता नहीं चलता. सो यस, डेफिनेटली बहुत अच्छी टिप्स दी हैं आपने अपनी सारी जर्नी शेयर करते हुए भी, और अभी जो आपने बात की अबाउट टेकिंग रिस्क एंड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एंड एवरीथिंग. तो आई थिंक दैट कवर्स आवर क्वेश्चन अबाउट tips for the younger generation. मैं एक और क्वेश्चन पे आना चाहूंगी, just slightly unrelated, but I would love to have your comment on that. एक और चीज जिसके which is very close to my heart and is the female conducive environment. हम बहुत ज्यादा बात करते हैं अब, स्पेशली जहां आप हैं वहां तो हमें बहुत ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस में भी नजर आता है. बैक होम पाकिस्तान में हमें ज्यादा थ्योरी में नजर आता है कि हम जेंडर बैलेंस की बात करते हैं, हम कंड्यूसिव एनवायरनमेंट की बात करते हैं जहां हम फैसिलिटेट करें फीमेल्स को. हाउ डू यू सी इट? Do you think providing a certain environment, safe environment to females so that they can work to their full potential makes a difference to organizations and it should be encouraged?
Absolutely. I can just share my experience that I got the opportunity to have a team where we had women in the team, and I felt that really improved the overall culture and also the productivity, and everybody learned more in the sense that they are bringing a different perspective within the team. And I being a leader of that team, I think I learned a lot as well, and I grew as a leader, having both women and men in my team. And when we are hiring, we never had even a thought, okay, we are hiring a woman or we are hiring a man. We are hiring for a role, and who is the best person to do that role.
Mm.
Bilkul, that was our key objective, and we were glad that we had a woman in that team. And after what we like, जिस तरह हमारा end up हुआ कि how overall if we see go back and look at it from experience perspective, I gain a lot of experience, and this was one aspect. The other aspect, in my last company, I reported to my chief revenue officer, which was a woman, and I had a great learning and connection with her. And even I'm still in touch with her. And she had different initiatives as a CRO, which typically the other men CROs, I didn't see them taking a lot of interest in those. And me being associated with her and helping her out in those initiatives really helped me grow on those perspectives of like from an administration perspective, project management perspective, like, okay, hey, we have to deliver this sales kickoff and how we want to do, and how she was looking at going deeper into things and taking notices, which I never would have taken the notice. And I see that collectively how it came out to be, even though those were small things. And I'm like, hey, we can probably ignore them, but not ignoring them and delivering what we delivered, what I delivered with her versus the other, it was a huge difference. And I had more appreciation of how she was looking at the things. So, like, long story short, uh, I believe having them is essential in the workforce, so that as as people you will grow, and as a society, uh, I believe their participation is essential. Otherwise, we don't have that particular workforce which can contribute to the Pakistan society in general.
Yes, definitely. Very heartwarming to know jab the successful men have the same perspective as well. You probably know Dr. Maria Riaz, Dr. Shella Rana, and myself. We are always talking about this on all forums. That it's so important to provide safe environment, which is not just physically safe, but also साइकोलॉजिकली सेफ एज वेल. और जैसे आपने पाकिस्तान की एग्जांपल दी, तो वहां पे कई दफा एक्नॉलेजमेंट बहुत कम होती है. हम इस चीज को एक्नॉलेज ही नहीं कर रहे होते कि इफ देयर इज सर्टेन ह्यूमर व्हिच मेक्स देम अनकंफर्टेबल और put some barrier, we should avoid that. But it's always heartwarming to know जब कोई successful male भी अपनी ऐसी stories share करे.
Actually, अगर आप देखें, like right now, Pakistan, if it's struggling economically, and one of the reasons is कि आप अपनी women workforce को उस तरह नहीं ला रहे जिस तरह neighboring countries ला रही हैं. Even if you look at Bangladesh, like they have grown in last 20-30 years, and उनकी आप workforce में देखें किस तरह women are like if you look at the other neighboring country, yeah, women are like equally involved in all these developments, and that's how we should do it in Pakistan too. And if the and whatever hurdles are, we need to remove that hurdles as a society to make sure that they are there.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for such a good answer. Thank you so much. Like I said, a great answer. I was looking forward to hearing something like that. It's always heartwarming to know. हम रैप अप करेंगे इंटरव्यू को. थोड़ा सा सीरियस हो गया था. हम एक फन क्वेश्चन की तरफ आते हैं. वी हैव अ सेगमेंट कॉल्ड अवाम का सवाल, जिसमें वी ट्राई टू रीच आउट टू फ्रेंड्स ऑफ आवर गेस्ट. और आपके एक फ्रेंड जो हमारे चैनल पे ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं, राहिल बोदला, उन्होंने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है राहिल भाई ने आपसे. उनका क्वेश्चन है कि बैक एट एकेडमी आपकी फेवरेट पनिशमेंट कौन सी थी और फेवरेट क्यों थी?
तो फेवरेट पनिशमेंट जो थी मेरी वो फ्रंट रोल्स थी.
Really?
और वो फेवरेट इसलिए थी कि उनके बचपन में वैसे ही खेलने के लिए करते ही थे, तो वो बड़ा आसान था करना. और उसमें इंटरेस्टिंगली एक दफा आई वाज जस्ट गोइंग थ्रू एंड समवन वाज गिविंग अ पनिशमेंट टू अ कोर्समेट ऑफ माइन. तो वो उसको सीढ़ियों पे दे रहा था, स्टेयर्स पे फ्रंट रोल दे रहा था, विच इज क्वाइट क्वाइट डिफरेंट. एंड वो काफी लाइक स्केरी लगती है, स्केरी लगती है. और उसने जाते हुए ना मुझे रोक लिया, कहता है क्योंकि उससे नहीं हो रही थी. तो ही वाज अ टफ गाय, लेकिन उससे नहीं हो रही थी क्योंकि ये बचपन में अगर आपने ना की हो तो नहीं होती. तो वो उसने कहा डू यू वांट टू गिव हिम अ डेमो. इवन तो आप नो नहीं कर सकते सीनियर को, लेकिन उसने मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी दी. लाइक उसने मुझे क्वेश्चन किया, मैंने कहा नो सर. ऑब्वियसली कौन किसका दिमाग खराब है कि खुद ही बिला वजह करेगा. कहता है जस्ट डू इट. यार that was the first and the last time I did it, and it was interestingly, if you know how to do it, it's very easy to do it on the stairs as well.
Interesting.
But yeah, that was a fun event which happened. So thanks, Mr. Rahil Botla, for asking the question.
Yeah, definitely one memory. Thank you so much. आपके सारी journey share करने का. It was a pleasure getting to know all of that about you. Inshallah, we'll try to stay connected with you, and maybe we'll invite you again to learn more from you. Thank you so much for sharing your time.
Sure. No, thank you for hosting me. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll keep bringing more graduates and more stars. Keep watching. Allah Hafiz.